Good afternoon from the National Service of the Liberia Broadcasting System. Welcome to Newsline, a 30-minute presentation of the most reliable news from Liberia and the rest of the world. Today is Monday, September 25, 2023. I am Vafli Kamara presenting. In the headlines, ruling CDC targets major win in vote-rich Lofa County as President Weah begins campaign in the north.
These are scary remarks that Liberians.
More condemnations continue to pour in for violence and warmongering opposition figures.
You're talking about war, you just walk away.
This is 3 generations.
Fire disaster kills 5 family members in Caldwell, New Georgia.
This is 3 generations have left us: mother, daughter, and grandchild.
And away from Liberia, Libyan authorities arrest the mayor over floods that killed thousands in Derna City. These and many more stories, including sports, the weather reports, the news in French, are coming up. First, Zokwe Best Corner and the news bulletin.
The ruling coalition for democratic change is intensifying its political campaign in northern Liberia, targeting vote-rich Lofa County. The party's standard-bearer, President George Weah, is today leading stalwarts, officials, and supporters of the CDC on a 4-day visit of the county. The CDC is seeking to pull the numbers and win Lofa in a move that will overturn results it obtained in the county during the 2017 elections. Lofa is the only county that the ruling party did not win in 2017, largely due to a one-sided voting in favor of former Vice President Joseph Boakai. But since then, the CDC has positioned key party officials across strategic districts, undertaking projects and other interventions aimed at winning the hearts of Lofa citizens. President George Weah has appointed Dr. Olumenje as president of Tubman University in Harper, Maryland County. Dr. Menje, a veteran educator and administrator, will replace Dr. Emmanuel Leon Blair, who has been acting as president since the resignation of Dr. Elliot Blair Wilson. Prior to his appointment by President Weah on Monday, Dr. Menje served in many capacities, including the president of the Baptist Convention, vice president of the Liberia Council of Churches, and principal of Rates Institute. A fire incident has left 5 members of a family dead in the Caldwell, New Georgia community. All of the dead, including 2 children, females, 2 boys, survived the fire, which gutted the house Sunday night. At the scene, the executive director of the National Disaster Management Agency, Henry Williams, expressed condolences to the family and called for more awareness on fire-related disaster. Also at the scene, Montserrat County District 15 Representative Abu Kamara has declared a day of mourning in the district for those killed in the fire disaster. Liberia's culture ambassador Julie Indy has called on citizens, mainly young people, to resist any call for war during these elections. Ambassador Indy said politicians making such desperate and inciting comments should never command any form of support from the people. She rallied young people, mainly first-time voters, to embrace peace and reject those preaching war and violence.
You have never experienced war before, my people. So when you are with someone who is studying a war drum, watch yourself. Anybody you hear talking about war, run away.
The Liberian culture ambassador was speaking over the weekend at a special program held in memory of veteran Liberian musician Asik Tiekbo Wokin in Pinsville. Ambassador Indy added that the gruesome experience and trauma associated with a 14-year civil conflict are things Liberia cannot afford to go back to. The National Traditional Council of Chiefs and others of Liberia has condemned recent threatening statements attributed to key opposition political actors. Recently, Nimba County Senator Prince Johnson threatened a stiff resistance to any election result that does not favor the Unity Party in the October 10 elections. A week following such statement, the Unity Party standard bearer, Ambassador Joseph Boakai, predicted a total destruction of the country should President George Weah get re-elected. But speaking to reporters Monday, the spokesman of the council, Chief Matthew Smith, termed the two statements as threats that should not be taken lightly.
The opposition political leaders, because we're hearing from them that they go to the poll, they don't succeed, you have another way around. And we don't want to hear that from anybody.
Chief Smith urged Ambassador Boakai and Senator Prince Johnson to rethink their statements during such critical election hearing periods. According to him, the council chief, Zansankawa, is consulting national leaders both in the government and opposition on the new trend of political rhetoric ahead of a major news conference. A staunch member of the ruling coalition for democratic change, Samora Wolokoli, says he is taken aback by the militarization of the opposition Unity Party. Mr. Wolokoli believes the act of militarizing the former ruling party is being orchestrated by Nimba County Senator Prince Johnson. In an interview on the Super Morning Show Monday, the CDC stalwart said Ambassador Joseph Boakai's alliance with Senator Johnson is a brutal mistake that is likely to haunt the Unity Party.
We have observed that the former Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Joseph Boakai, my uncle, has joined the de facto standard bearer of the Unity Party in General Prince Rod Johnson to militarize the Unity Party.
Samora Wolokoli described recent statements from Senator Johnson, Representative Yeke Koluba, and Ambassador Boakai as threatening remarks that must be denounced by all. He urged the opposition leaders to emulate in the peaceful display of President George Weah, who recently told the 78th session of the United Nations of free, fair, and credible elections in October. House Speaker Dr. Buffer Chambers has congratulated the People's Republic of China on the occasion commemorating their 74th anniversary. Chinese National Days celebrated on October 1 every year to commemorate the founding of People's Republic of China. Making special remarks at a reception over the weekend, Speaker Chambers said the world has witnessed under the leadership of President Xi Jinping the protection of individual rights and liberties, religious freedoms, and minority rights.
The world has witnessed under the leadership of President Xi the protection of individual rights and liberties, religious freedoms, and minority rights, amongst others. This is indeed laudable, and it is a right step in the right direction.
Speaker Buffer Chambers stated that both countries should continue to demand and expect a full measure of commitment, devotion, and hard work from all global stakeholders. Meanwhile, Speaker Chambers has respectfully requested the Chinese government to facilitate the process of modernizing the Liberian transportation network to include land, air, and sea transport. Speaker Chambers believes with China's expertise in infrastructure development and its successful track record in various countries, there is great potential for transformative projects in Liberia. This, according to the speaker, includes the construction and rehabilitation of roads, bridges, ports, and airports, which will facilitate the movement of goods and people, boost trade, and drive economic growth in Liberia. He expressed a fervent hope that a flawed tide of optimism regarding sustainable global transportation system based on cooperation and development will be a reality in sight. And a high-level national conference on electoral integrity is expected to get underway Tuesday in Monrovia. The executive director of the Liberia Peace Building Office, Edward Moba, said the conference will focus on several topics on elections, including inter-party consultative process, the Farmington Declaration, security, among others. Speaking Monday to the station, Mr. Moba disclosed that the gathering is aimed at sustaining peace in the country.
It is my utmost expectations that these candidates will come, owing to the fact that everyone so far in these elections, from what I have seen, opting for sustainable peace.
He said all 20 presidential candidates are expected to attend the conference along with key stakeholders, including the United Nations and ECOWAS authorities, among others. Meanwhile, the head of the peace building office is urging political actors to avoid utterances that have the potential to incite violence during and after the October elections.
Zoko Beslokone with the news bulletin. You're listening to Newsline on ELBC Radio. One of the big stories we're following this afternoon: fire disaster kills 5 family members in Caldwell, New Georgia. Well, President George Weah is in Lofa County as he intensifies his campaign for re-election. Things look a bit more comfortable for the ruling coalition for democratic change now that they were in 2017. Here is Zoko Beslokone with an ELBC news analysis on how things may pan out for the Liberian leader and the ruling party in Lofa next month.
The CDC is seeking to poll the numbers and win Lofa in a move that is likely to overturn results it